Hi Libras, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do Thomas readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Aries and Libra on Mondays. Also, for those of you guys who are interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Influences of the Angels Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in a personal reading, the link is in the description below. Also, sometimes the cards will flip over in the deck. I see them, however, I usually don't take them unless they flip like these ones have. And now we have 8 cards. We can get started on your reading. I do, however, want to take this moment to give you guys a quick reminder that if you enjoy the reading, the best way for me to know is by leaving a like or a comment. But for your overall energy here, we have the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is a really positive card to get, especially when we are talking about anything that has to do with the mental realm. Right? Anything that has to do with communication, ideas, speech in particular also. I think that you guys are just seeing a lot of new beginnings in this area of your life. I'm looking at sort of like the symbolism of this sword, and it looks like these two sort of angels are very much in awe of the sword. I don't know if that comes out very well on the video, but as you can see, it's like they're very astonished by the sword. So I think that the people around you in particular are going to see your ideas and are going to see maybe even the progress. And they're going to be very astonished, amazed, impressed, I think is the best word to use, is people are going to be impressed. People are going to be impressed that you almost pull this sword out of a hat almost, right? I feel like you're really manifesting this and it's coming out of nowhere for a lot of people and it's very fast. I feel a lot of like snappy energy. Also here, I'm looking at the Three of Cups with the Ace of Wands. It's very interesting because here we have a lot of new beginning type energy, but then here we have almost like wanting to sort of hold on to something. Because I'm looking at the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands usually is a new beginning, a new passionate beginning, right? But because it's in reverse, it almost feels like to me like something is blocking it. It's not necessarily that you're going to enter a situation and it's going to be bad. I still think that you're going to get the positive attributes that are connected to the card. It's just more of a matter of the fact that this beginning is sort of being delayed and it's not quite happening. At least not right now. And I'm looking at this Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups in the upright talks about this energy of reunions or celebration. And the fact that it's in reverse almost leads me to believe like it's a missed opportunity of some kind to reunite with someone. Or maybe something that didn't quite go through. Very much like some kind of party almost. I feel like some of you guys skip out on a party or can't go because of work, school, or family obligations, something like that. And as a result, it's almost like you have a delayed beginning. It's almost like you might meet somebody at some kind of party or reunion, so keep that in mind if you're interested in meeting people. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic interest, but with this Ace of Cups, it's certainly a possibility. However, I feel like for some of you, it might be some kind of a connection in other ways. Either you make a new friend, like a lifelong friend, or maybe like some kind of a business connection. So definitely weigh out your options. Now is probably a time to be a little bit more social than the past. I feel like a lot of you guys have been sort of a little bit recluse. So definitely if that's you, don't be afraid to go out. And I'm looking at this Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups to me talks about disappointments and sort of looking on the bright side. And whenever I see the Five of Cups in reverse, I get this feeling of like looking on the bright side is easier said than done. And certainly so here because we have the Five of Pentacles. Right, so the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles together really leads me to believe that you guys are in a very difficult situation. The Five of Pentacles talks about being left out in the cold, and I feel like a lot of you guys have certainly been in that situation with this kind of, with all these cards that are here. Perhaps like this could be some kind of existing relationship, like somebody coming to town almost, and there's just been a lot of blockages. And with this Five of Cups, it's almost like you're having a really hard time looking on the bright side and finding the bright side into this. But, you know, definitely try to find the humor in the situation, because with this Five of Pentacles here, I feel like I'm getting like an energy of like what's done is done, what's in the past is in the past. But I do want to bring up the fact that I looked at the timer on the video just now, and it was at 555. So we have the two fives right here. So I'm guessing that you guys are going to see some really powerful synchronicities here. And while I'm at it, we have 3 aces and we have 2 threes. So I think that you guys are going to see some really powerful synchronicities here. But I think more than that, like, try to find the humor in the situation. Like I was saying, what's in the past is in the past, and I'm getting this energy of like no use crying over spilled milk. And I feel like you are too, because the Three of Swords is in the reverse, right? And the Three of Swords talks about heartache and pain, and it's very interesting because usually what the depiction of the Three of Swords is like, it's like this heart sort of on this cup, and then it has the 3 swords stabbed into it. Now, it's very, I feel, important to point out that this card in particular does not have the swords like that. You can see that this person has sort of this energy that represents her heart, and then the 3 swords are not anywhere near that. They're not piercing the heart at all. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you've sort of taken those swords and sort of taken them out, for lack of a better word. You guys have really been in this mode of coming out of the pain and coming out of the heartbreak. And I feel like there's 2 sort of sets of journeys for you guys. Okay, maybe 3. But I did notice that when I put down this Fool card, it was actually in the upright. And I can't remember which card it was, but during the shuffling, when I believe it was the Ace of Cups, because it came right after, some cards fell on this one, and then it flipped around. So to me, it feels like there's 3 groups of people here. One where you are certainly over this and beginning anew. And I feel like for those of you, it's probably because you're a little bit more detached or distanced from the situation. Either it's happened a long time ago, or it was a long time coming, or you were already emotionally prepared for that ending, or whatever the situation is. But there's also another group of you guys that is perhaps this is happening in the present and the wounds are still kind of fresh. So you have sort of this Fool in the reverse to contrast the Fool in the upright of the other group. And it feels like you're sort of latching on to this situation and not really letting it end, or not really letting it begin. Because the Fool card talks about endings and beginnings, right? It's the very first major arcana, and it starts the major arcana cycle again. So for there to be this beginning, there needs to be an ending. And I feel like for those of you who have this card in the reverse, you'll know who you are, and you're very much latched onto this energy. And then the third group of you guys is definitely the group of you guys that is going back and forth between these energies, right? Sort of flipping in the upright, flipping in the reverse, and flipping back, and sort of a little bit indecisive. And I feel like that's where this Ace of Swords really comes in, because you're going to see a lot of new beginning and a lot of clarity and a lot of sort of mental clarity when it comes to this kind of stuff. So that's certainly going to help with how you feel about this and what your stance is. Now, with the Eight of Swords, I feel like it's good overall, just because the Eight of Swords in reverse talks about freedom and liberation. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, whatever this heartbreak or pain is, has really been keeping you tied down. Very much pinned down. And I feel like some of you maybe even have had a hard time getting out of bed, because I'm looking at this woman and they're just very much deflated. And I feel like you're coming out of that and you're coming into a stronger energy. You're sort of releasing the swords like the Three of Swords has, but whatever is keeping you down is sort of being lifted. And with that comes this new beginning, and new beginning in love, emotional beginning. So I want to point out that you have three aces, right? You have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. So that's a very powerful new beginning to couple this Fool card. So I feel like a lot of you guys have the framework and have the makings of a super powerful new beginning. It's just that you're not quite ready in the mental space. And I feel like that's why you have, a lot of you, this Fool in reverse and then this Ace of Wands in reverse. If you don't allow yourself to have a new beginning, then all of this wonderful new beginning energy that's coming in isn't quite going to come in. So definitely let go, relax, you know, take your mind off of the pain, do some healing, because what's coming next is really awesome. There's some amazing things in store. But that was your reading first time around, Libra. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Libra videos on Mondays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.